Healthy masculine men love this. There are certain things that a healthy feminine energy will do that healthy men find irresistible. And so today we're going to be diving deep into 5 feminine traits that masculine men are addicted to in relationships. And as we kick this off, let's make sure that we're on the same page when we talk about masculine and feminine energy. We're not talking toxic masculine or toxic feminine, healthy versions of these energies, and recognizing that they're not gender specific, they're not in the gender box, but masculine and feminine energy is contained in all human beings, and you get to dial up whatever energy you want to come from. And they attract one another. So if you want to attract a healthy masculine man, or you want to dial up that attraction in a relationship you're already in, these 5 traits will absolutely do magic in this relationship. So trait number 1 that the healthy feminine knows how to use and use well is called the mission accomplished reward. And my wife, Irene, is great at this. Recognizing that masculine energy loves a mission, loves to accomplish something, loves to provide you with happiness. So my wife will say something like this: "Hey babe, I would really love a big salad for dinner. Would you be willing to run to the store and get these ingredients for me? It would make me feel so loved." When that happens, I take it like this. Mission, go get food. Getting in the car. Dopamine. Navigating the store like an episode of Survivor on Produce Island. Dopamine. Finding the perfect red Roma tomatoes. Double dopamine. Here we go. Presenting your accomplishment to the woman of your dreams.
Thank you.
Dopamine and some oxytocin. Yes. You are welcome.
Yes.
Woo! Ooh.
So, a lesson you have to know today. Always bring your wife sex.
One of the reasons this works so well is because clear requests focus the brain, this executive function that we have. It turns on that seeking system, triggers dopamine, and then gives us a measurable win with you. And every man wants to feel like, I can win with my woman. And then when you celebrate the completion of this goal, the completion of this mission, that creates this positive feedback loop that states, when I contribute, I'm valued. When I contribute, it matters to her, which then wants me to contribute even more. And there's all kinds of research that shows, like the Gottman Institute talks about turning towards your partner and creating bids of attention. And so when you make this bid of attention in the form of a request, it also signals, hey, I believe in you. I know you're capable. I know you can do this, and I'm going to trust you to deliver something that I would love. So the nuance to this is that some of us have learned strategies to make a request by criticizing what we don't want. This is the opposite of that. So instead of criticizing what you don't want by saying, we don't have anything in the house to eat, like we never have any groceries, or you never actually go to the grocery store and pick anything up, things like that. Instead, just make the request of what it is that you would love. Hey, I would really love it if we had a big salad tonight, or I'd really love it if we had some barbecue tonight. Would you be willing to do this for me? Boom, that triggers the mission, and then celebrate it when he accomplishes the goal. And you've got a beautiful recipe for igniting dopamine and your man's masculine energy. In fact, he will often go overboard to try to please you. My wife asked for a particular type of cheese. And when I got to the grocery store, I could not find that particular type of cheese, but I wanted to please her so much. I brought home like 7 types of cheese for the salad. And she was like, well, I asked you for cheese for the salad. You brought home like this charcuterie board PhD style. So it was a nice effort. Thank you. And he gave me a big kiss. You'll notice that's how much your man wants to deliver happiness to you. Feminine practice number 2 is to soak him in. Soak him in. This is a beautiful thing that the feminine energy does. My wife, when she hugs me, I can feel her soften. I can feel her exhale. It's like she's fully receiving me in this hug. It reminds me of a sponge, right? I call this the sponge effect, where she's just soaking me in. And it's this relaxed surrender in her shoulders, in her whole being, in her body, where my brain gets this powerful message that I am having this positive effect on the woman I love. And that's this sense of empowerment, because we want you to feel safe. Your man wants you to feel secure. Your man wants you to feel relaxed. And when you can relax into him, there's almost no better nonverbal communication of I trust you than that. And what we know in research based on our mirror principle is that we can co-regulate in relationships. So as you are relaxing into him and you're calm in your body and you're open and you're receptive, that his nervous system actually downshifts and becomes more peaceful as well. And specifically in moments like where you're touching each other, you're hugging one another, you're snuggling and you're just relaxing into him, we know that this triggers oxytocin, which bonds both of you together and lowers the stress hormones like cortisol. And you can actually combine this with the mission approach, where you can ask him for what it is that you would love, or you can say, honey, can you just give me a nice long hug right now? I really need it. And then sink into him, soak him in when he gives you this hug. The opposite of this is where you're wanting your man to read your mind, and you actually withdraw from him because you're not receiving enough attention. You're not receiving enough maybe physical touch. You're not receiving enough energy from him. And so you withdraw as a communication tactic because you were taught this growing up, or you saw this modeled from your mom, or whatever the case may be. And you're wanting him to try to pursue you, to then find out what's wrong. And that's a way in which a strategy you try to get attention. That can work, which is why some people tend to do it. But it works from getting attention, but it doesn't work from a bonding. It creates friction, it creates fights, it doesn't lead to healthy bonding. Way more effective is to ask your man for what it is that you want. Set a goal for him. Say, hey, this would really make me feel so good right now. The other night, Irene did this where she was like, you know what I'm really missing? I'm really missing when you come up behind me and I'm cooking and you wrap your arms around me and you just hold me and you kind of rock side to side. Will you please do that? So I was like, of course. So I came over and I gave her a hug, and I could feel her just melt. And her head went back and she just relaxed into me. And I could feel my whole system actually charge up, knowing I was having this positive effect on the woman I love. Now, I've got something amazing for you. If you would love to go really deep into understanding masculine and feminine energy, and exactly how to unlock even more feminine energy to create a deeper bond with your man, this is exactly what I cover in my new book called Cracking the Man Code, which you can get right now. All you have to do is click the link below and you can grab your copy. You're going to love this. Feminine trait number 3 that masculine loves is soft touch. And I call this know his yeses in this category, soft touch, because soft is a superpower, right? It's the soft fingernails through the back of his hair where it gives him chills all down his spine, or soft kisses at the corner of his mouth, or letting him stroke your soft skin. There's something about the softness of the feminine that feels so good to healthy masculine energy. And there are things that he'll like and things that are going to be like, not so much, right? So my personal note is light fingernails, soft touch, but on the back of my hand. My wife and I would be driving, and we're dating, and she's like stroking the back of my hand, and it was one of those things where I was like, okay, enough. Like it was just too much. There was too much sensitivity, like it would tickle me too bad. And so we have to figure out what is it that feels really good to each other and what is it that doesn't. And so you can ask your man, hey, what are the ways in which I touch you in a really soft way that feels really good to you? Because every one of us have different kinds of touch that feel good. Some of us love the light, feathery touch. Others prefer a little bit more warm pressure or responsive touch. Giving the touch that your partner actually enjoys builds attunement. And that's a key trait when you're creating a secure bonding relationship. Gottman calls this love maps, right? It's like a map to what your partner loves in this relationship. And the only way to discover what this love map is by having these good conversations, is asking your partner. So here's a great question that you can use in a relationship for you to know his love map even more and know how to stimulate this soft touch for him, where you can say, hey babe, I'd love to dial in how I touch you so it feels even better for you. What are some ways in which you love to be touched? And then he's going to give you his physical touch blueprint that will unlock his heart. So my wife and I, as we're figuring this out, right? So it was, the hand was not so much, but the back of my head, ooh, yeah, love that. And so she asked me, she was like, what about your jawline? Like, I love tracing your jawline. Do you like that? Or I'm like, I let you do it because I know that you like it, but it's not really so much for me. And she was like, oh, I was doing that because I thought you liked it. And so finding out what are the things that he likes that you can do these for him, if that's your intention, is a super, super beautiful practice. Because physical touch is kind of like Wi-Fi, right? The more attuned it is, everything else just loads faster. Trait number 4 that masculine energy loves a mountain, right? Loves something to accomplish. And feminine energy makes that mountain more meaningful. And so when a man is looking at the thing he wants to accomplish at work, maybe a passion project that he's working on, a big dream he's going after, and there's doubt, he's feeling like maybe I'm not up for this, your belief can be rocket fuel for him. Carol Dweck wrote this amazing book called Mindset that talks about that we are only one thought away from having an empowered mindset, she calls a growth mindset, or a fixed mindset, like this disempowered. It's one thought away. It's either I can do it or I can't do it. And you being a champion for him can be one of the greatest allies in helping him switch and click over into, no, you got this. You can do this. Social support predicts our persistence in a goal. Like the people around us, if they are believing in us, that is an absolute predictor about whether or not the person's going to continue forward on their goal. And so when your partner reflects your capability, your brain actually borrows their belief. Your brain borrows their confidence in times when our own confidence is lacking. Let me share with you a moment in my own life. I was writing the book, Cracking the Man Code, about halfway done, sent it to some beta readers and got some really tough feedback about, oh, this didn't work and that didn't work. And I was feeling deflated and I was feeling this lack of confidence. And so my wife wanted to boost up my confidence, and we're laying in bed and there was kind of a few things that all happened at once. Like I was on the final cut for a TV show that came out, and the producers had called me that day. They said they went with somebody else. And I was like, oh, and so I was just feeling discouraged. My wife's there laying in bed and she goes, honey, I want you to know what a champion you are. I want you to know that I see you as a champion. And then she leans in and she goes, out of the 100,000 sperm that were going for the egg, you were the one who got there first. I'm listening to this and I'm going, what? And she's trying to be super motivational. And it made me laugh so hard in that moment. And she was like, well, I'm glad this is making you laugh, but I want you to know how much I believe in you. And I'm like, well, this is doing both, because that's the funniest example I've ever heard about being a champion. Like, yes, I'm the sperm that got to the egg and out of the other 100,000 sperm. And so I'm already a champion. And as funny as that moment was, it was exactly what I needed, because I could feel her confidence in me. I could feel her belief in me, and that helped lift me up to not only solve the challenges that I was having in that chapter of that book, but ultimately solve those and then go on to write an amazing book that I know will impact millions of people. Trait number 5 that masculine loves is be soft on yourself. Self-compassion is contagious, because here's the twist. The softest place that he'll ever land is the woman who's become a soft place for herself. I love that. When you're gentle with your own human moments and you don't require perfection of yourself, then you ultimately create this soft place where he is free to make mistakes and he knows he won't be ridiculed. Research on self-compassion shows that when you have self-compassion, it reduces anxiety, it reduces stress, it increases resilience, it increases confidence. And here's the catch. So many of us have been programmed by our parents and the way that we were raised growing up that it's performance that gets you love. That really love and belonging has to be earned. You've got to get the straight A's. You've got to do the project really well. You've got to win or succeed in order to get love and attention. That we were given the most love and attention when we achieved growing up. And so we hooked up this belief that, oh, when I perform, achieve, produce, accomplish, that's when I get the love and attention that I want. Well, then the out picturing of that is this self-image of being a perfectionist. Well, what happens is when we're a perfectionist and we make a mistake, we will crucify ourselves, like we'll criticize ourselves, we'll berate ourselves to try to then perform better next time. And the irony is you can't just do that on yourself. If you are hard on yourself, you're naturally going to be hard on other people. If you don't have tolerance for your own mistakes, you are not going to have tolerance for other people's mistakes. The quickest way to create this field of loving acceptance, which is the most attractive field for people to be in, is to actually love and accept yourself first, is to unhook the belief that my love and acceptance comes from my performance, and to anchor the belief that my love and acceptance comes from spirit, that I'm enough as a child of God just because of who I am, and to own that and to feel that and to receive that. So releasing this, I have to perform in order to be loved, and moving into I am loved for just the way that I am. Some of the ways these patterns show up is, let's say you're late for a date with him, and you just are beating yourself up for why you didn't leave early, or feeling super stressed about the traffic and you're just scolding yourself. And then a few days later, he's late and you're nitpicking him or you're criticizing him because him being late versus having grace for each other. So a new script you can put on anytime you make a mistake is to put one hand on your heart, the other on your solar plexus, take a deep breath in and say, I'm human. Yes, this is a mistake, but I'm holding love and compassion for myself now. I love and accept myself completely right now. Take a deep breath in, relax, and release. I was given an amazing gift of this love and acceptance in a moment when I thought I was just going to get raked across the coals with my wife. And we had just gotten married, and I literally botched our honeymoon. I had planned the honeymoon, the date, the flights and all of that. It's the day after our wedding. And we had that whole day to open presents and relax, and we're going to leave the next day for our honeymoon. Or so I thought. And I actually forgot that we weren't leaving the next day. We were actually leaving that day. And you know the alerts that you get on your phone when you're going to leave for a flight. So I get this text message that says, hey, your flight leaves in about an hour. I hope you're all checked in and have a great trip. And I was like, we're literally opening. I'm like pulling out a blender when I get this text. And I'm like, hang on real quick. And she's like, what's up? And I'm like, hang on. I run to my office, my home office, and I check, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I realize we're late and there's no way that we're going to make this flight. And so I rebook the flight. I call the hotel where we're going and say, we're not arriving today. And they were like, okay, well, you can arrive tomorrow and this and that. But it costs us an extra $1,500 that we don't have to delay. And we're going to miss a whole day of our honeymoon. And I'm feeling like scum of the earth. I'm feeling so low. Like I botched our honeymoon. Come on. So I come into the living room and Irene's having opened up gifts and having fun. She's like, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I come in and I'm like, hey babe, I've got to tell you something. So I messed up bad. I thought our flight was tomorrow for our honeymoon. It's actually today. And I told her what happened and how I rebooked the flight, and it's $1,500, but we can still go and we'll show up tomorrow and so on and so forth. And she was like, give me a moment. And she walked into the kitchen And later she told me that she took a deep breath and she reminded herself of what really matters in this moment. And it's the fact, two of us together, not being on the honeymoon. I was super blown away by what she did with her mindset in this moment. But all I know is I'm standing there wondering how she's going to come back. She comes back from the kitchen, walks up to me, takes my hands in her face and gives me a kiss. And she goes, "It's okay. We're human. Mistakes happen. Let's start our honeymoon right now." And she grabs my hand, takes me into the bedroom. I was blown away. She would have every right to criticize me. She would have every right to be angry and livid and all this stuff. And I was like, this is the response I'm getting. I married the right woman. Holy moly. And I felt so much love and compassion and closeness. And the next day, we boarded the plane. We flew to Cancun. We had an amazing honeymoon. But it started because of her willingness to be a soft place to fall. And that comes from her own practice of being a soft place to fall for herself. So how can you dial up the self-compassion you have for yourself when you make mistakes, when things aren't perfect? Because when you have it for yourself, it is way easier and you are way more empowered to give it to the person that you love. All right, so let's take a quick look of where we've journeyed so far. Number one is mission accomplished reward. That triggers the dopamine. I want to accomplish this mission, masculine energy loves. Number two is to soak him in. Increase the receiving, relax in his arms. Again, masculine energy loves to provide, and this is an experience that he will recognize that he is providing for you and love it. Number three is soft touch and finding out what his love map is. What are the ways in which he loves to be touched softly? Number four is to champion him. Let him feel you're believing in him. And number five is be soft on yourself and increase your own self-compassion. And when you do these, it creates an experience that his masculine energy can't get enough of, and he will be drawn to you in deeper ways than ever before. And what I love about these ideas is that you don't need to be anyone else other than who you truly are. And as you connect to these and you trust in them and you dial them up, it's going to create a beautiful experience for both you and for him. And so my question for you is, what are the feminine traits that you have noticed naturally exist within you that create an irresistible bond with your man? Go ahead and post those in the comment section below. And if you haven't done so yet, grab your copy of Cracking the Man Code, because it takes all of these concepts deeper and help you create the relationship you've always wanted with your man. I'm sending you love. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.